Hello mga cutie listeners. Welcome to another episode of Qrious with a Q. I'm Kael.
And I'm Kurt. Today, pag-uusapan natin ang Filipino attitudes towards the English language.
English is widely spoken here but ano ba talaga ang nafe-feel natin while using it?
We'll talk about the good, the awkward, and the funny ways we use English. So if you've ever been shocked by Filipino English habits, stick around.
Alright, let's start with the bright side. What are the positive attitudes of Filipinos towards English?
One positive attitude Filipinos have is that using Taglish makes them more confident in expressing their ideas. Since Taglish lets people mix languages, conversations flow more naturally. People don't feel pressured to speak in full English, so they're less afraid of making mistakes. This is helpful in casual conversations, social media, and even professional settings.
Exactly. It's easier to express thoughts when switching between languages. This also helps people feel more relaxed, which makes the conversation sound more natural. That's why Taglish is commonly used, especially among young people.
So Kyle, what do you think is another Filipino's positive attitude towards this?
Another positive attitude is that many Filipinos see English as a key to better opportunities. A lot of people believe that being fluent in English gives them an advantage in job applications, business, and even studying abroad. Since English is a global language, it helps Filipinos connect with the world and feel more competent in international settings.
That's true. Many job opportunities require English proficiency, so a lot of people put in their effort to improve their English speaking skills because they know it will help them advance in their careers.
But of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Let's talk about the challenges and negative attitudes Filipinos have toward English.
One major issue is the assumption that if someone speaks English fluently, they must be smarter. This creates unnecessary pressure to be fluent, even though intelligence isn't measured by language proficiency. Sometimes this leads to discrimination. People who struggle with English are looked down upon.
What's worse is that this mindset can cause people to feel insecure about speaking in Filipino, as if using our own language is less prestigious. Some even develop a habit of code switching or forcing themselves to speak in English just to be seen as more educated. This reinforces the idea that English is the superior language, pushing Filipino further into the background. In reality, true intelligence is about understanding and expressing ideas clearly, no matter what language is used.
That's true. People judge others based on how well they speak English. If someone makes mistakes or has an accent, others might think they're not as intelligent, which is unfair. Language is just a tool, it doesn't define intelligence.
To add, some parents are now teaching their children to speak only in English instead of Filipino. While being bilingual is a good thing, some kids end up struggling to speak Filipino properly, which affect their connection to their own culture and identity. This is prominent today. We can see it in almost every kid, even your younger cousin who is more fluent in English than in Filipino.
Yes, some kids today don't know how to speak Filipino fluently because they were raised speaking only English. While it's good to learn English at a young age, we shouldn't forget the importance of our native language. Filipino is a part of our identity, and it would be a loss if future generations couldn't speak it well.
Maybe this happens because of our westernized mentality, where English, as what I said earlier, is often seen as superior or more prestigious. However, we need to remember that teaching kids to love our language is just as important. By doing so, we help preserve our language and ensure that future generations remain connected to our rich cultural heritage.
Now that we've covered the attitudes, let's shift gears and talk about something equally interesting: how Filipinos behave when speaking English.
One common behavior we observed in the video is that speakers tend to prolong their words while thinking of what to say next. For example, they would say, I think this is a phonemic behavior showing that most Filipinos need time to organize their thoughts in English.
This is noticeable in school presentations and recitations, When people aren't confident, they tend to stretch their words. This shows that even though many Filipinos can speak English, there's still some hesitation, especially in formal settings.
Another interesting observation is their body movements. We noticed that some people move a lot, shifting from side to side, scratching their heads, or fidgeting. This kinetic behavior suggests that they feel nervous or self conscious while speaking English. These excessive movements help them release tension.
Right, you can tell if someone is uncomfortable just by watching their body language. Some also use a lot of hand gestures to explain their ideas better. This is a natural response to nervousness, especially when speaking in front of an audience.
So, after all that, what can we say about how Filipinos speak English? Well, it's clear that English is deeply embedded in our culture. While it boosts confidence and provides opportunities, it also comes with challenges like unrealistic expectations and cultural shifts.
So at the end of the day, language is just a tool. It should bring people together, not divide them. We should appreciate both English and Filipino, and we shouldn't let language define someone's intelligence or worth. That's a wrap for today's episode. If you've enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to follow and share this podcast.
And let us know your thoughts. Thank you for listening and see you next time. Goodbye.